Start with a quick scene. Your phone buzzes, an urgent message from a client or a friend asking for a favor that will eat an hour of your evening. You feel pulled. Do you stop the work in progress and respond? Or do you protect the hour you set aside? That little hinge moment is what this episode is about. I'll walk you through 3 fast, humane checks to decide where to put your attention so progress and calm compound instead of reactivity draining you.
Before we dive in, a scope and safety note. These checks are shorthand for everyday trade-offs, email triage, project choices, small asks from people. They are not a replacement for deep relational work, therapy, or legal or medical advice. If a decision involves serious emotional harm, abuse, or clinical issues, pause and get professional help. For interpersonal decisions, here's a simple consent and repair rule set I want you to keep. When naming friction, ask permission to talk about it. If something breaks, offer repair language and an explicit next step. And always prefer connection over cleverness.
Okay, process overview. The energy ROI has 3 checks: payoff per minute, emotional friction, and likelihood. Intuition first, then a compact prompt you can say or write. Payoff per minute asks, what measurable result do I get per minute I spend here? Emotional friction asks, how much inner friction does this choice add? Likelihood asks, realistically, how likely is this to succeed? Each check ends with a conservative sizing rule and a practical prompt you can use on the fly.
Check 1. Payoff per minute. Intuition. Attention is a scarce asset. Measure outcomes against time. A 1-sentence prompt. If I spend X minutes, what measurable change happens? Quick rule of thumb. Estimate optimistically, then have your payoff as a sanity test. Example, if a meeting might yield a $1,000 result after 2 hours, that's $8.33 per minute. Then have it to $4.17. If that adjusted payoff is lower than alternatives, deprioritize or scale down. On the worksheet, I've put a single line for payoff per minute. Write the minute count, your best case payoff number, then divide by 2. That gives you a conservative baseline you can compare across options. If you're unsure how to measure payoff, pick a proxy. For creatives, that might be feedback gained. For freelancers, it might be billable value. For founders, it might be learning that unlocks future revenue. The trick is consistency, not perfection. Check 2. Emotional friction. Intuition. The inner cost matters. Ask, how much mental tug or dread does this create? Quick signals of high friction, recurring anxiety, stomach tightness, resentment, or the thought, I'll avoid this later. When high friction is acceptable, if the payoff per minute is enormous or you've committed to a boundary, then proceed with supports. Otherwise, prefer lower friction paths.
There's also a short script to name friction with others while preserving consent. Try, I want to talk about something, but it's a bit heavy for me right now. Would now be okay? If not, I can schedule a time. That simple permission request protects both parties and reduces reactivity. If a conversation triggers repair, say, I'm committed to fixing this. Here's what I can do next. Keep repair fast and specific.
Check 3. Likelihood. Intuition. Optimism bias inflates outcomes. Make a short reality checklist. Past results, dependence on others, required resources, and time horizon. 1-line prompt. Given my past hits and the dependencies involved, what's a realistic chance this will work? Sizing rule. If your confidence is below 50% and payoff isn't huge, treat it as low ROI and pair it with a small test rather than full commitment. Now, what to do when a decision flags low ROI? I recommend 3 paired moves you can deploy immediately. Pause test, reduce scale, and witness ask. Pause test. Pause and run a mini experiment. Set a 30-minute test to gather real data. Reduce scale. Each paired move includes escalation guidance. If the test still shows low ROI but significant harm, move to explicit repair or professional referral.
Worked example A. A money ask. Imagine someone asks you for a $5,000 loan and you estimate 1 hour to sort contracts and oversight. Payoff per minute? If successful, maybe you preserve a relationship and potentially a business partnership. Estimate a $2,000 payoff, then halve to $1,000. That's roughly $16.67 per minute after halving. Emotional friction? You feel unsettled, tight stomach, replaying worst-case scenarios. Likelihood: this person's past behavior suggests a 40% chance of timely repayment. Low ROI flag appears. Paired move: reduce scale. Offer $1,000 as a pilot with written terms and a 30-day test. Or pause test: schedule a shorter check-in and request collateral. That preserves the relationship, reduces exposure, and buys information.
Worked example B, a creative launch. You've been offered a co-launch with another creator that could reach a bigger audience, but it will eat 2 weeks of focus. Payoff per minute. Your best case payoff is audience growth and potential sales. Estimate modest revenue and have it. Emotional friction. Moderate. Excitement, but also dread about losing momentum on your core project. Likelihood. The partner's past launches show mixed follow-through, so confidence is around 50%. Paired move. Pause test. Run a micro offer for 3 days on a small segment of your list to measure conversion. Or reduce scale. Agree to a single low-effort asset swap instead of a full co-launch. That gives you data without a big drag on your main work.
The 3-day ROI probe, your immediate experiment. Pick one decision you're unsure about. Day 1, run the payoff per minute, emotional friction, and likelihood estimates on the worksheet and choose a paired move. Day 2, run the paired move. If it's a pause test, collect the data. If reduce scale, ship the smaller version. If witness ask, get the outside take and log feedback. Day 3, review the metrics: time spent, measurable outcome, friction level, and a yes/no on continuation. Track simple metrics: minutes spent, one primary outcome number, and a friction rating from 1 to 10. Log these on the one-page worksheet in the show notes.
Common failure modes and ethical guardrails. First, over-quantifying relationships. Don't use ROI as a license to avoid repair. If a relationship needs care, prioritize consent and repair, even when numbers look messy. Second, optimism bias. We built in the have your payoff step to counter that. Third, using ROI as avoidance. If something is uncomfortable because it's necessary growth work, name it and commit to a plan rather than disappearing from it. Finally, social pressure. If others try to rush you, use a simple consent script. I hear you. I need X time to decide. Can we revisit on Y date?
All right, let's do a guided micro apply. Pick one small decision right now. Say it out loud or write it. What's the time cost in minutes? What's your best case payoff number? Have it. Give a friction score from 1 to 10. Ask, what's the real likelihood this succeeds? Now choose a paired move: pause test, reduce scale, or witness ask. If you want the worksheet, it's in the show notes as a downloadable one-pager. Run your 3-day ROI probe and come back to this episode after 3 days with what you learned.
Quick closing. These checks are tools to help you treat attention like currency. Not to become cold, but to be kind to your future self and to others. They let you trade less regret for more clarity. If this landed for you, do one thing for me. Download the worksheet, run the 3-day probe, and leave a short review telling me the single metric you tracked and what changed in 3 days. That small act helps shape future episodes and keeps this practice practical.
Thanks for spending this time with me. If you want more examples, money, launches, or relationship repair, tell me in that review. Let's keep this simple and human. Let's dive in.